Hey YouTubers, I'm Jacob, and in this video I'm removing the old insulation at the firewall and cab roof of my 79 Bronco and installing Killmat 80mm sound deadener and Sillis thermal insulation and sound deadener. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to follow along on the rest of my Vintage Air series where I installed AC and heat kit on my 79 Bronco. And I've included the product links to all the tools and products that I'm using today down in the description below. So make sure to click on those links and check them out. All right, let's get right into it. So before we install our new soundproofing and insulation, I'm going to remove all this old insulation in here. I'm not sure if it has asbestos in 79. I can't remember which year that asbestos was outlawed, but I'm just gonna wear a mask and gloves and safety glasses just in case. I'm gonna take all that out. And I'm gonna soundproof even up higher in the cab, like up into here, and use heat insulation blanket for our Vintage Air. Also cover our new panel cover there.
If you're following my Vintage Air AC series, you want to follow the directions for aligning the evaporator heat lines with the firewall cover holes and silicone the perimeter of the firewall cover prior to bolting it in. Once you have the cover installed, you are then ready to do the sound deadening and thermal insulation. I'll cover this in more depth during the Vintage Air evaporator install.
I did have these plugs holding in the existing insulation, so I just used the trim removal tool and pulled these out. And I believe there might be just a little bit of glue holding this in. So let's go ahead and pull the old insulation out.
We started with the easiest area first, the roof. We then planned our material pattern out, peel back the backing, and carefully apply from one end to the other to avoid wrinkles and bubbles. Once you have it pressed in place, then use a rolling applicator to roll the bubble rectangles out until they're no longer visible to ensure proper adhesion. It helps if the metal is not cold when applying this. For areas with more stuff in the way, I'm making cut templates of trace paper and overlaying them on the soundproofing to cut them out. This takes a lot of the guessing out of it, but maybe requires some adjustments along the way.
Okay, so we got all of the sound deadening finished up on the roof and firewall here. As much as what we could reach at least, or what I could reach. So now that we've got the sound deadening all finished up, it's now time to install the insulation. And this is going to cover all the sound deadening material. It should help with heat insulation as a heat barrier, but also cold weather as well. And it also has more sound dampening properties. So this should help make it considerably quieter in the Bronco. Because if we're cruising down the road, anything really above, I would say 35, 40 miles an hour, pretty loud in here, and you feel like you're yelling at each other just to have a conversation. So hopefully this helps that. Also, definitely have to install this thermal insulation for the new Vintage Air, since the evaporator is going to be underneath the dash here. It needs a little bit better heat block protection from the engine.
For areas behind the dash, I'm able to crease the smaller pieces to mark my cuts more quickly than creating a template for each piece. I noticed my metal rollers were leaving behind a pattern on the sillis insulation, so I decided to use a small paint roller for areas that will be visible. Over time, this pattern has disappeared, so I think it's safe to use the metal roller. Just be careful not to cut or crease the finish.
Okay, I just finished the soundproofing and also the thermal insulation. And I will say this took me about 3 days. Pretty tough work, but as long as you can clear out as much space as you can to do it, it's really not too bad, and I think it's going to be absolutely worth it. It's the first time I've done the sillis insulation, and honestly, I think it may make the biggest difference in having both of them on there. Excited to test it out, but the next steps are to finish up the AC. So I'm going to do my Vintage Air AC kit. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to follow along for more videos and see the install of that Vintage Air AC kit. I've included the product links to all the tools and everything I used today in the description below, so make sure to click on those and check them out. Thanks for watching.